Cool. So Hugo is with us here at SLS, and he transitioned from selling health insurance to selling life insurance. Now, there are a lot of people who get involved in health insurance for open enrollment, stuff like that, and then they make a transition to life insurance. I've seen more top producers in health that I can count come into life and completely crash and burn and not make it. So Hugo is an exception to that. I could kind of tell the way that you spoke is you're a salesman, but you're crushing it, bro, and I'm super proud of you. And seriously, it's really cool. So what prompted you to make the change from health to life?
Well, I guess what everyone does in health, right? The season's over, and I've been kind of hanging on, and for 9 years now, I've been doing like 9 open enrollments, and post enrollments, it
Wow.
usually gets pretty slow. And I usually just fight through it. I sell through it. I do what I have to do, short-term medicals, people changing their plans, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, I wasn't challenged, and I wanted something different and in a different space, something that wasn't um, I wasn't tied down to a certain time frame of the year that was busy season. Here, it seems to be busy all the time.
Hmm.
It's like a year-round thing rather than a seasonal thing. So that's why I wanted something just a little bit more stable, where I wasn't waiting around for calls all day. That's basically it. Yeah, what brought me here.
Cool. Awesome. Cool, man. And by the way, guys, this isn't the intention of this video isn't to like recruit people to our agency. The intention of this video is to show people out there who may be new to life insurance, because you can sell one product and sell another, and you can bring some good things from that, or who are selling health insurance and maybe want to make the transition
Right.
to life insurance, what they can be prepared for. So if someone's making that transition from health to life insurance, like what are some things that they should be prepared for when they get into life? Because everyone talks about, oh, the renewals and the commissions and everything else, but like what's the nitty gritty? Like what's the suck, you know?
Honestly, it's just having a different conversation. With health insurance, it's such a different conversation. People are calling you, they need it because they need to go to a doctor. They need it because their insurance at work just ended because they got laid off or whatever. Here, you're actually selling. You're making somebody see the value of the product. And that's basically it. It's just a different conversation. It's a little bit morbid, so to speak, because you're talking about death. You're not talking about getting your prescriptions and being happy and going to see whatever doctor you want. It's a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
sell, but it's generally just a different conversation to have, and different pitch, different style coming at people, building rapport, building a lot of trust before you can just dive deep into, all right, well, these are your benefits. This is, if you pass away, this is what happens. It's different. It's building trust. It's a whole different thing.
Okay, cool. I love how you said it's a different sale, because I think that that's really where people making the transition from health to
Hmm.
life struggle, because it's they get from buying a product that someone needs and there's a deadline to it, to buying something that it's selfless, right? Like we use our health insurance. We don't use our life. Some people, not our clients though, right? So it's like they're buying it for someone else. So what do you do to establish that relationship and build that trust that you need in order to and build that value that you need for life insurance sales that may already come inherent in health?
Well, I mean, it's just the first couple of seconds on the phone, getting through that intro. If you're in health or life, the first few seconds are really important of how you sound, how you come off.
Hmm.
And that's, the main thing. Another thing would be just, I don't know, just caring, being a little bit more caring. In health insurance, I was anyways, just hot, it's just cold. Just get it done. This is what the benefits are. This is what it is. Here, it's more like talking about people's families, having a conversation with them, getting their family involved in the conversation, then and then working that into your pitch. So it's a little bit different.
Okay, cool. So it's conversational as opposed to
Exactly.
transactional. Like health would be like transactional.
Exactly. Yeah, you're giving me this, and I'm going to be able to see my doctors. If I can't see my doctor, I'm going to cancel it next week. Here, it's like, all right, I'm going to buy
Yeah.
this, and I'm going to be happy with it, and they feel better about it. And at the end of the conversation, they're not like, man, I'm giving away this money. They feel like, man, I'm getting something for this money. So that's what I like, that the ending of the conversation. I feel like it's a win-win for everyone. So.
Cool. So you mentioned that the greeting is
Mhm.
very important. I agree with that. What does your greeting sound like?
Hey, this is Hugo. I'm terrible at it right now because I'm on the spot. But yeah, it's
It's
just
okay. So ring. I'll role play with you. So ring. Here, two deep breaths, and then
all
we'll
right.
go.
All right.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Ring. Hello.
Hello, Justin. Hey, Justin.
Yep.
This is Hugo. How are you doing today?
Good
Great,
man.
man. I'm calling you from Senior Life Services, and the reason we're giving you a call today, you had spoke to one of our representatives not too long ago. I don't know if you recall. You spoke about, our state-approved final expense programs, and you even mentioned your favorite color was green. Does that ring a bell?
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what you did awesome there, man. Great tone, tempo, and guys, a really important part about that too is he went in sort of like with a slight submissive approach, right? Where he's like, I don't know if you remember, almost like don't yell at me, you know, because sometimes if you go in just telling people that they did it, they get all riled up. So cool, good stuff. Anything specific that you look for to build trust and have that conversation as opposed to
Well,
transaction?
I learned from one of our coaches, Vicky, that you could just. Okay, so with the first day I shadowed Griff, one of the big guys here. He was amazing at starting conversation. He would talk about the weather and talk about sports and talk about what was going on in their area, and I was like, wow, I don't know if I could do this. This is crazy. So I called Victoria and I was like, hey, Griff is amazing. How do you do that? And like, how do you do it? So she told me, she's like, just use the information that's inside of, while you're collecting information. For instance, who's your beneficiary? Oh, your kids. Oh, how many kids do you have? Do you have grandkids? And then just kind of flow down that little path of asking questions while you're gathering information and making conversation of it, really, is the best way I could put it, is just disguise the conversation as fact finding.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
mhm.
100%. I love that. And it's funny because like I listen to these sales gurus online, and they're like, all sales are the same, and it's like no one wants to talk about the weather in their family, and it's like you haven't sold final expense,
Yeah.
because it's I feel like we have a unique clientele. So that's true. So guys, what he's saying there is in telesales, especially when as opposed to even say you're thinking of going face to face, because Hugo, most life insurance agents are prompted to
Yeah.
sell face to face. They're in an IMO where they buy leads, and the company understands that for them to capitalize on their investment, they have a best chance of going to someone's house. So when you're in the home, you can like kind of look around, see the pictures, and develop the conversation that way. When you get the lead, you have a picture, a slight glimpse into the client's life, and you can use some of that information in the lead. Look up their address, or you can look up their address online. You can look up their zip code on TripAdvisor. I used to do that and see like what's in the area and stuff like that. So cool, man, awesome. So why? I mean, there's so many IMOs out there. Why did you pick SLS? Oh, how did we meet, by the way? Let's tell people how
Oh,
we
that was
met.
funny.
It was such a cool story.
Things in my life, man, so they happen like that. Like I was supposed to get my license 4 years prior to when I got my license. People were, I was working at front desk at a building, and the residents would come down and they would be like, "Hey, Hugo, you're great, man. You're great at customer service. You should be in sales. Here, I do insurance. Here's my card. You should come see us and we'll talk." And I went to two interviews and I was like, "No, this is not for me." One, because one was like an hour away from where I lived, and the other one was selling car insurance, and I was like, I don't know about that. And then finally, someone came up to me about, insurance again. I'm like, fine, the third time I'll listen to it. Let's do this. So I went and I did it. I got my license in 2013, November 2013. I'll never forget that date. And yeah, I went to work. I started my first open enrollment and whatever. But years passed, and then you and I crossed paths because I needed to do my CE. And a buddy of mine used your code, your discount code, to do his whole pre-licensing. So I was like, hey, let me see that code if it works for my CE, and it worked. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm using it, doing my test, and randomly one night I get a text from you. I think I have it here. I took a screenshot of it the other day because I was like, this is funny. Um, and you were asking me that you saw that I got my CE package. Did you work with me before? Are you looking to get licensed, or how did you happen to find the course? And I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, how does he know I'm using his code? I'm like, this is crazy. People can see that you're using a discount code. So whatever, you and I had chatted, you had a few words. You were just not trying to recruit me at all, just interested as to what I was what I was doing, and then you kind of let me know what you were doing, and then you shared your YouTube channel, and then like a few weeks later, I reached back out to you like, dude, gold. gold because I was watching how to create a final expense lead on Facebook, and it was just step by step. And I was like, wow, this guy's giving this stuff for free. That's incredible. I'm like, people would literally pay for this sort of stuff, and it's for free. So that was pretty cool. And I remember reached out to you, I texted you, and then I followed you. I subscribed to your channel, and every now and then I'd see your thing pop up. And I'm doing health insurance, and I'm like, man, I'm so frustrated with this. And I would go on YouTube in between calls and see your videos. I'm like, man, I'm gonna see what his whole company's about. I'm gonna reach out to him, and then I finally did. And I was impressed because I saw the videos on how the comp worked. I saw what really got me was the interviews you had with some of the agents, and I was watching their background, where they came from, and how well they were doing, and I was like, wow, they really train you here. And I felt like I've been invited to work at many other life insurance agencies like One Life, get an IMO contract direct and go to work. Symmetry
Mm-hmm.
Financial, another one. Um, and I just wasn't convinced. I was just like, well, how am I going to get the training? Who's going to train me? And there's always like, oh, we'll give you the training. But I
Yeah.
didn't really see the results anywhere. I didn't really know anyone that's done it. I didn't know. I usually go to an agency where I know someone's working and making money. I'm the first one that came here out of all my agent friends. I don't know anyone that works here. I just kind of came here on a whim, and it's been working out.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for that,
Yeah.
man. It was so cool. And because I remember seeing that sign up, I'm like, what went through my head when I saw that? Because I get an email every time someone signs up using my discount
Mhm.
code for the pre-license course, and I got the email and I was like, did this guy sign up for the continuing education instead of the instead of because people sign up for like even we're pretty explicit in the interview. People sign up for the life only. People sign up for the accident and health, or people sign up for all different courses. So I was like, so that's why I texted you. And then you're like, no, I'm doing health. I'm using your discount code. I'm like, whatever. And I'm like, let me just toss this guy my YouTube channel. If he wants to go to health, or if he wants to go from health to life at some point, I hope he watches some of my videos, and I'll probably have some rapport with him already just from that. So I was like, cool. Well, let me do it. And then you texted me. I was like, awesome. Because when I was like, I feel like this guy would be good. So yeah, cool, good stuff, man.
Appreciate it.
Um, so what are your like longer term goals for life insurance? Because you seem like a pretty motivated guy. Like I don't think I feel like you think like maybe like kind of years ahead as opposed to like just next week.
Sure.
So what are some of your longer term goals?
Well, since I've been here, I've been actually writing them down and following a plan. Um, I know it sounds cheesy, but like my first week here when I started training with you, one of the things you said in the meeting was write yourself a schedule every week. Make your schedule for the week. And I never really have done that at in remote sales. I'm working from home all this time. I just kind of wake up at 9 in the morning and
Mm-hmm.
start work until 5, and then I'm done. And maybe I'll hop on later. But here it's like I follow a recipe, a structure, and it kind of just changed everything and made me see long-term goals. I see the opportunity here. I see the success here from all the other agents. I'm looking at the production numbers every day, and I'm like, holy cow, this is crazy. Like people are killing it. And one thing that surprised me about this industry more than anything was a lot of women in our office dominate the boards. They're always in the top 10. And I was showing my girl that, like, these girls are killing it. Like, I worked in offices in health insurance, and women aren't really dominating on the very top like that. Maybe you'll see one or two, but here it's like the majority. And I was like, this is crazy. I want to
Yeah.
learn this. I want to see what everyone's doing. This is crazy. But yeah, I mean, my long-term goals are just get good at this, get really good at it. I would like to build a team and go forward with that and see where that takes me. I really am good at making people see things in a different way, especially if they're new. Like I have some agents that'll hop into my Zoom just to shadow me, and I'll explain things to them in a certain way. Not that you guys do a bad way at explaining anything. It's just that sometimes you have to hear it from a newbie's perspective, and that's what I am. I'm just new here,
Mm-hmm.
so whatever I just find out something cool, I'll jot it down. But yeah, it's all been a learning experience.
Awesome. Hell yeah, man. What how much AP did you hit last week?
5K 2 weeks in a row
Do you
now.
remember?
59 last week, and I think
Okay,
52
awesome.
the week before that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's huge. So like guys, and by the way, this is like your third week,
Yeah,
right? Or your third or
third
fourth week,
week. Yep.
something like that. Yeah, third week. Yeah. So Hugo is consistently doing that. And if you guys are watching this and you're like, well, he sold health insurance before. Trust me, that doesn't matter because I mean it does, and it opened you up to sales. But like he was saying, like it's a different
Yeah.
sale. So you have to be talented at sales, and that's super impressive, man. So sometimes when people are switching professions, I mean, still you're learning something new. It's like a basketball player going to play baseball. It's like I play sports, but it's a different thing, right? I guess Michael Jordan is the exception, but but yeah. So cool. He's off to a huge fast start here, and it's funny that you say about the leaderboard being dominated by women because it's so true, man. You look at that newsletter every week and you see it. And I think that what really, really helps that is guys are like a 1+1=2
Hmm.
mindset, right? And it's more like we have a high not higher, but we have a high IQ but low EQ, like low emotional intelligence
Mm.
sometimes, right? And I think women are better at communicating and reading
Hmm.
people and can read tonalities better, just like inherently in body language. And guys aren't as good at that. So I think when it comes to the communication and establishment of a relationship and rapport with clients, women are just naturally a better
Yeah.
conversationalists with
Totally.
that. So I think that, and someone's going to yell at me for saying that, but I think it's true though. You know, I see the leaderboard women do well, but you're doing
Thanks,
great.
man.
We had a guy who was totally dominating the leaderboard, Eric Clay. He's a
Yep.
coach now, but he was doing like 25,000 AP weeks. So you're on your way there. And if anybody, so Hugo is interested at some point in building an agency. If anybody wants to reach out to Hugo and talk to him and maybe pick his brain or even work with him at some point, just reach out. His email is insurancebyhugo@gmail.com.
Appreciate that.
That's his email. That's how you contact him. And also, guys, if you look up here, you're going to see links to a link to some other video, another interview with an agent here. And at the end of the video as well, you're going to be able to check that out. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on the post notifications if you find value in some of this stuff. It's huge. So that'd be a big favor to me if you can subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so that every time I post content, you'll see this. I'm very consistent Mondays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. I do not miss that. Like I will miss whatever, but I do not miss my Monday and Thursday 5 p.m. posting. So, but that is enough of the commercial. We're gonna get back to it here. So what are some of the things that motivate you to push every day?
I'm a pretty competitive guy, and whenever I see someone doing 6, 7, 8 hours a day of talk time, I'm like, wow. I'm having a hard time building up 5+ hours. These people are doing 7, 8 hours a day, and I just want to get my talk time up. I feel like if I get my talk time up, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, the money's gonna come. I mean, there's no, there's no secret formula to success, just hard work. It's not luck. It's just every day getting on the phones and not giving up. Yesterday, I had a bit of a hard day. I had driven like 10 hours the day before, so I was a little bit tired, but I still put in my 4+
Oh wow,
hours in the dialer and, set up the pipeline for this week. So that's all it is, it's building
awesome, bro.
pipeline.
Oh yeah, that's huge. And everyone's gonna have a tough day. People have
Yeah,
tough weeks.
that's fine.
Shoot, you have a tough month
Hmm.
in this business, and it's gonna happen. So looking at it that way, I used to look at it as like, okay, today's trash day. Like when I would have a bad day, I'd be like, I took out all the trash day. I went through all the crap leads today,
Yeah.
and and then I went, and then the next days were moving there. So what do you in terms of
Hmm.
activity and effort? What do you recommend to a new agent?
Eliminate distractions. I was having a conversation with a new agent the other day. Is just eliminate your distractions. Try to follow a actual schedule for yourself. Give yourself breaks in between. You're not a machine. You're not going to sit there 8 hours a day. I mean, some people are. It's amazing. God bless them. But when you're first starting, don't beat yourself up. Just, I reached out to you. I had my first 3 days here, I blanked. I was just calling, calling. First day, I didn't know what I was doing. Second day, I shadowed someone. I got off later on. I felt a little bit more comfortable. And third day, I was finally getting the hang of it. And then you shot me a message and you said, "Don't worry about it. Some of the best agents here. went blank for the first 10 days of working here. And now look at them. And I'm just like, all right, it's totally normal. Let's get into it, and just go to work at the end of the day. Just go to work and see what other benchmarks people are setting and try to do that at the end of the day. I mean, they're getting there. People are breaking records. There's new agents that have been here for less than a year that are absolutely dominating the leaderboard. So anyone can do it. It's just come in and just go to work. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but it's not the hardest thing. So.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, and it comes down to activity. People want the secret sauce. Like, I have agents reach out to me and like, hey, what should I work on, or just trying to figure everything out. And it's like you got to just put the effort in, and you have to put those calls in. And people, and that's a big mistake that new agents make, is they'll make a few calls. They'll have like 2 people answer the phone, then be like, okay, what do I got to train on?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, the training comes from those repetitions, guys. And that's why it's huge. If you're getting into telesales, it's very important to have a batch of aged leads to work too, like older leads that you can get for cheap, because you want to get beat up. Like, you want to go through those challenges, because and if you're brand new and you're only calling like brand new leads, you're gonna run out of money unless you're like exceptional at it. You're gonna put yourself in a tough situation, and you're gonna it's a quick way out of the business. So. And like Hugo said, I have a tutorial on my channel of how to build Facebook ads for final expense. I also have one how to build YouTube ads for final expense. So if you're new into it and you're independent, then you can check that out too there. So do you work on weekends, or do you kind of take the weekend
Saturdays, I work. So I've worked 2 Saturdays in a row.
Cool.
This Saturday,
Perfect.
it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The wifey wanted to go out, and I'm like, listen, I have to pass 5K. You have no idea. Like, I'm right there. We're not doing anything. So I stayed here. It was 4 o'clock. As soon as I passed the 5K, I was like, it's like someone gave me a shot of adrenaline. I was just so happy. And we went out. We had some drinks. I'm like, let's go have some drinks and some calamari by the beach, and then we'll come home and make some dinner. So that's what we did Saturday. I stayed working. I didn't get up from here. I texted Vicky. I'm like, I did it. I got to it. I finally did it. And I was kind of losing hope a little bit. It was like 12 o'clock. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to go outside, go for a walk, do something around the house. And I came back. I'm like, all right, I need to get this. I need to get this 5K, because that's my goal, is just to get 5K every week, get good at getting to 5K, and then move the bar up 10K. I see people doing 15, 20K a week every week. I'm just like, all right, I can't start running and sprinting before I start learning how to crawl and walk. So that's the whole goal. So some people are just super talented,
exactly.
and they can come in and do 10, 15, 20K a week starting. But, this is new for me.
Well, what I've seen, yeah, no, it is. And what I've seen, the difference, and this has kind of made me alter some of my training stuff. I've seen some of the people that you see come in, like Carissa, right?
Mm-hmm.
She did like 13K her first week or something, and then 16, and then 24, and then 20.
Amazing.
She quotes people super high, right? So that's something that I've been like, it's kind of changed my my outlook on some of the training stuff I'm going to implement. So I mean, it's just to try it. Sometimes people say, it's so expensive, but you never know if maybe if they're quoted higher, if they'll value it more, or I don't know, whatever. So I've seen that some of those people that hit those huge numbers, the sales volume typically for number of policies isn't usually significantly higher. It's just the amount, the premium. So just something.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of different recipes that work here. I've seen agents that only work B leads, that are the aged leads, that are killing it. There are agents that come in and they write. I see them. They have the same amount of sales as I do, maybe a little bit more, but their AP is so much larger because they're quoting bigger policies. So it's a bit of everything. Then you see agents that write 11 policies that are at 8K, 10K. So it's a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure, man. For sure. So what he was talking about there is, here it's a little bit different. We have a system where agents are provided essentially unlimited leads to call at a different compensation structure. So agents here start at 50% of the annual premium plus bonuses. The bonus structure is pretty heavy. So, but there's unlimited amount of leads to call, right? So you can call more people. Now, um, you mentioned something I think that's really important for new people to understand is you said, your wife wanted to go out to, I don't know if you guys are married. You said wifey, so maybe married. Or,
Soon to be.
your partner said she wanted to, soon to be.
Yeah.
Cool. So she said that she wanted to go out and get some drinks, but you were like, I have to hit this. Now, what that shows is how supportive she is, because I have and how committed you are to understanding that, hey, like my income has to come first, and then we can go do our stuff, because like I see so many agents where them and their significant other or the people that they live with aren't on the same page in terms of like their goals and their accomplishments and what they want to do, and they kind of like hurt themselves. So I understand you are like, you have to take care of yourself before you can kind of take care of the family. So is there anything that you do to kind of get the people in your home aligned on those goals with you, so that they understand, like, hey, maybe some sort of short-term sacrifice for the longer term ones?
Well, yeah, she understands. She sees me very dedicated. She doesn't know really much about insurance or the industry, but she understands that I'm very excited about this, and she's very supportive. I mean, she's an amazing human being. I've known her since we were in middle school, so we're really good friends.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we're
awesome.
really good friends. So she supports me, and she supports me in my good days and my bad days. So that's what's important. Sometimes I have a bad day, and she's like, "Don't worry about it," and it makes me feel a little better to have that support at home, honestly, where it's just not like,
No, that's
yeah.
huge. That's huge, man. I can't tell you how big that is, because there are a lot of people who are not fortunate in having like what you have there with that support structure. So it's pivotal. So that's big. Um, what's like your the easiest objection for you to overcome when you're on the phone with someone?
The easiest objection, that they don't want to talk to me. They're like, I don't want to talk, so they'll hang up. And I'll do is I learned this from the training last week. I'll call them back and I'll say, "Is everything okay? Are you having a bad day?" Would be my opening line. And then they would start talking to me. Oh,
Yep.
well, I've gotten so many calls and I'm tired of it. And yesterday I kept the
Hmm.
guy on the phone. I didn't get to tell him, but I kept him on the phone for like 8, 9 minutes, just talking to him. We started talking about something else, and then we went back to insurance. I have a call back with him this week, so we'll see how that goes. But that's how the call started. It was just, what is this for? And I just get right to it. This is about life insurance, And they go, click. So I'll call back, and then I'll
Yep.
just, no, are you having a bad day? I think we got disconnected. No, I hung up on you. And I said, well, okay, we'll go into it. But I'm really good when someone is defensive and they have their defenses, and I just kind of bring them down. I'm just, you know, I don't try to, I try to, like you said, sound a little bit submissive in the beginning to kind of get in there, and then I'll turn it around, turn the ship around. So that's my end. Is just sound as friendly as and nice as I can in the very beginning, and then, speak to them like, everyone has bad days, so I get it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So what he's saying is you call people sometimes and they get pissed and hang up, right? And I love doing that, calling people back. Hey, you okay? Everything okay? You having a bad day? What's going on? I would even say like, dude, you need a friend right now? Like, is everything all right? And and I've had people call me back from saying that, and they're like, listen, I'm so sorry, I was rude to you. Da 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 da. And I like saying too when someone's like, I get all types of phone calls. I'd be like, wow, you must be pretty popular then. Just as like a joke to break the ice there. What's the toughest thing for you to overcome?
The toughest one for
That's an
me right
objection.
now is I already have insurance, and I've talked to a lot of my trainers and seen the rebuttals and try to go through that. And yeah, for me, in my industry, oh, I already have health insurance. Okay, no worries. Click. Go to the next call. Here's like you can
Yeah.
have more than one policy. You can have multiple. And just keeping them on the phone, having that conversation, finding out what they have, not making them feel like, oh, what you have is bad and what I have is better. Nothing like that. It's just, you know, crossing that bridge, and I hope I can get better at it. So that's what I hope I can improve on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. One thing I found that, and that's a huge. I found that that's huge for agents, because it's what made me think about that one a little differently. I was in Costco a week ago. I don't know if you ever go there, but when you go there, the people come up and they try to sell you solar when you
Hmm.
leave. Right? They're
Correct.
like, "Oh, we look at our solar options or whatever." And I was like, oh, I don't own the home I live in, and because I don't. And they were like, "Oh, okay," and they left me alone. But I was like, dude, I totally could have lied to them right there, and that doesn't mean I don't know someone who owns a
Hmm.
home, right? So I what I found worked well when people told me that they already have insurance was like, wow, that's awesome. Congratulations. I promise I'm not asking you to make any changes to that, and then keep going. Or I'm not going to ask you to make any changes for that. I'm going to get you some information because at some point in the future, this may be important to you again or important to someone that you love. And I'd love to be a point of contact for that. And then just keep going. I found that helped me. Everybody's got a different way to doing it, but I found it would not every time. Sometimes people are like, no, I got it taken care of. But cool. So now, anything else that you want to share with people here watching this on what you think could help them getting into the business?
Well, I mean, honestly, it's a little bit different for me because I came from already an industry, and then here is a
Yeah.
little bit just like a learning curve. But my main thing for everyone that I see that comes on board, that that I see in the chats that are new, like newly licensed, freshly licensed, that are getting into this industry for the first time, it's just keep yourself motivated as much as you can. You're not going to be great at this right out of the gate, and go to all the trainings, go to all the meetings that you can, immerse yourself in it. I set myself 30 minutes in the morning while I'm taking a shower. I have my phone hung up on this thing in the shower so I could watch some YouTube videos, some motivational sales videos in the morning, kind of get myself in the groove. Um, this is not going to be something that you're going to be able to do like a part-time job. You treat it like if you're being worked and scheduled at a job that you hate being for 45, 40, 50 hours a week. That's what you have to do. You have to
Yeah.
schedule yourself for so many hours because you've done it. I mean, if you've worked for anyone in the past for an hour, you've done it for 10, 15 bucks an hour. You've had to
Mm-hmm.
sit there for 10 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week. You could do that for yourself
Exactly.
here and make an unlimited amount of money if you're good. So that's the only thing that I could say is just this little $300 license can get you so far. I remember the date November
Oh yeah.
2013 because when I passed my test, I was in the car screaming like I was so happy like if I just won the lottery because I was doing front desk getting paid $710 every 2 weeks after taxes. And my first paycheck in insurance my first week was that. And then my second paycheck was what I made in a month, and then it kept growing, and I was just like, this is incredible. This little license changed my life. And
It
you
did.
have the income ability with this little $300 license that you get to make as much as lawyers make, to make as much as some doctors make. I mean, there are people in this industry that are absolutely dominating, and I see them every week in the meetings, and their numbers aren't made up.
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool, bro. Well, hey, I appreciate that, guys. Hugo and I actually have another
Yep.
meeting to get to right now in just about 2 minutes here. So, hey, look, thank you for everybody for watching this. If you have any questions for Hugo, reach out to him directly. His email is insurancebyhugo@gmail.com. You can reach or ask me, jve@thejve.com. And if you look up right here, you're going to see a card that you can click on to watch another interview of a successful agent here at SLS. Thank you guys for watching this. And as always, please subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications if you saw value in this.